What's up, folks? Welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. All right, so is Trump a coward or is he a madman? Make up your mind, liberals. What is he? Now the articles are coming out that he's scared. He's not going to do nothing. It was a bluff. I wouldn't call his bluff. I would never call Trump's bluff. He's showing a little bit of compassion instead of blowing them into smithereens, folks. That's what he's doing. And look, I don't expect this to hold up very long, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm going to bring 𝗀𝗍𝗂𝗃 on the phone just real quick. He's busy. He's in the middle of some action in Vegas. Hopefully he's not at the roulette table, but we'll see. But hit the notification button. Hit the notification button, folks. Also, when the lights go out on Amazon, please leave an honest review. My mama's book, The Mexican Mix, baby. Leave an honest review on that. And Noble Gold. When's the last time you actually held your investment? Not checked an app, not watched the number move on a screen. I mean, physically held it in your hand. That's what I love about gold. It's real, it's tangible, and it's yours, folks. No passwords, no logins, no 6-digit codes texted to you for access. In a world that's getting more digital, more abstract, more complicated, gold is simple. That's why we're seeing a massive shift, so precious, into precious metals. My precious Smeagol. That's where I do the evil voice, Smeagol. As everything moves to the cloud, people are starting to value what they can actually hold. There's something very powerful about that because real ownership is becoming rare. If you want to see what that looks like for you, check out noblegoldinvestments.com, noblegoldinvestments.com, folks, and get started on that. All right, folks, Live Forever special is still on Nino's Corner.tv. I'm keeping it up a little while longer. It's kind of cool. People are really appreciating it, and a lot of people are signing up for that. So Live Forever special, one-time payment, and you're a member for life. Also, X is Nino Boxer. Look down below, folks, Nino's Corner.shop. Now, a lot of people, man, you guys are really into the hoodies, and a lot of people like the hoodies, the baseball caps. I think the shirts are pretty cool. I'm wearing my shirt right here, Nino's Corner. Truth Hits Hard, shirts, caps, hoodies. We really appreciate you supporting this endeavor. This hard. I'm telling you what, folks, it's trench warfare over here on every aspect of my life. I'm telling you that right now. Nino's Corner.tv got 𝗀𝗍𝗂𝗃. I got JJ Arms up there right now. Private investigator, international private investigator, giving a travel advisory to Mexico and what is the real scoop of what's going on with the cartels. Now, this guy's an international private investigator. He's worked on both sides of the border. Very powerful interview. I also have a mystery guest coming on tomorrow, a big one, a really, really big one, folks, tomorrow. And then Dr. Artist and Dr. 𝗬𝗏 are coming on today, and we're going to be going into that. Also, the General's Tent is Sheila Home this month. Sheila Home on the 23rd, and Ringside with Nino. Ringside with Nino is April 15th, 5 p.m. That's a Wednesday. Sheila Home is 5 p.m. on the 23rd. And without further ado, folks, here we go. Coming at you live from the apocalypse, baby. Yeah. I forgot to get my cigar. Can you believe that? I really forgot to get my cigar. Juanito, are you there? Let me know, folks, if you can hear him.
I am. I can't believe it. Here you are.
All right, can you all hear my the ghetto production we got here, folks? Can you hear them? Give me a thumbs up.
Nino.
All right, Alex, give me a thumbs up. Can we hear him? All right. So one, give the scoop real quick to my audience. We did a great podcast on Nino's Corner.tv. What right now is the mindset of Trump?
Well, he's made sure that Iran was highly motivated not to force our hand to come in there and, dismantle them completely. And, they're trying to work a deal. No doubt look, Persians, they are negotiators. They'll try to drag it out. They'll try to find 100 ways to drag it out further because that's what's worked up to this point in time. But Trump has made it exceedingly clear he's letting them see the B-2s on the way. He's letting them see, troops getting ready to do things. And the damage has occurred already thus far. So they were highly motivated to sort this out. And by the way, oil prices came down $20.
Wow.
In the aftermath, which means that, traders that trade in oil realized very clearly that this was the real deal. So earlier on, the price of oil had gone from over 100 to like 112, 14, 15 dollars, and then it came down off of that. So they were very aware of the fact that.
Do you think this ceasefire will hold, Juanito? Do you think, I think he's giving 2 weeks? I'm hearing rockets are being fired off in Israel, all over the Middle East. I mean, that's just par for the course, right? I mean, we knew that was going to happen, but the deal was the Strait of Hormuz to be opened.
Yeah, and of course, Iran is kind of running Hezbollah and the Lebanon thing and all that. The problem for some of these factions that have been getting support from Iran is that they see this eroding their power, their opportunities. And Israel was very adamant right off the bat. A deal over the Strait of Hormuz has nothing to do with what we're doing to defend ourselves from Lebanon on the opposite side of Israel. So there's still issues to be worked in the Mideast, but the real crisis was they were disrupting oil flow, energy flow for the world. And, if there's a little problem group somewhere in Iran that doesn't agree with leadership and wants to do something, now you've isolated it down to smaller groups. We just go in and wipe them out. So, either they get them under control or we get them under control. But, it is in our advantage not to have to go in there and ratchet up. It puts Trump, firmly in the peacekeeper kind of a mode. You want to make a deal, we'll do the deal. You don't want to make a deal, we're going to wipe you out.
There's not going to be another chance after this, is there, Juanito?
Well, they sometimes these types of things, it's a little bit back and forth. He gave him 10 days. He made it very clear, and that was after a lot of bombing destruction had already happened. And of course, that their media yesterday was saying that that Trump capitulated, the media in Iran. Do we really care? We don't really care what they say, because everybody knows what the fact of the matter is. And so you got to be a little bit, you can't be too adamant or harsh or whatever. We got to win. We got to win. We don't have to go bomb them. Look at what happened in the people that came out anti-Trump yesterday for what he was doing. And then the second they worked, that Trump got Iran to agree to back off, they're saying Trump chickened out. He didn't chicken out. He got them. He was being extremely demonstrative.
So what is he, a madman or a chicken?
No.
But now they're saying he's a chicken, and at first he's a madman. Make up your mind.
Yeah.
Well, Juanito, thank you. I'm gonna jump right now, but I'm going to call you later. I know what's coming. You've always told me this all roads lead to Obama, Hillary, the arrest, Brennan, the election. What can we expect in the next, coming weeks, months?
Well, the real deal is we still have some issues with Cuba that need to be taken off the table, so that we're eliminating these places that could distract from what has to happen domestically as we move into arrests. The time period between arrests and prosecutions is, many, many long months. And because the ones we're most concerned about are the ones that will be done before military. Those won't be years away, but could conceivably take up to a year to begin those also. And there's a lot of trauma happens in between. So,
all right.
This is far from over. In fact, the harshest stuff, you think this whole rhetoric thing with Iran and like that was harsh. We still have some really major things that have to be accomplished. But a trend is getting set up with these interactions with Uganda and with Venezuela, and there's some stuff in Central Africa and South Africa that could still be a distraction. So I expect a bit more heavy-handedness there, as well as the Cuba thing, before we move into the main events.
Got it. Juanito, thank you so much. I'll call you right after the broadcast.
Hey, super. Good talking, bro.
All right, Juanito, bye. Well, there you have it, folks. That's the best I could do with like the scoop of what's going on. I try to be very transparent and honest with my audience. And it looks like, you know, the liberals can't make up their mind, right? They go, oh, he's a even the right side. You got Candace Owens, you got Nick Fuentes, you got Tucker Carlson, you got. So what are they going to say now that he's given them 2 weeks, that he's shown some compassion? Is he still a madman? Is he still crazy? This is a globalist arm. This was going to be used for a nuclear. Let me stress this: a nuclear holocaust. Okay, they were getting ready to use this card for a nuclear holocaust. Look how they're just firing off missiles like fireworks into Dubai, Qatar, United Emirates. I mean, folks, this is like they're having fun with a bunch of firecrackers. This is what they do, and if they had nuclear capabilities, we would be in a nuclear holocaust, folks. This is a problem that has to get dealt with. Now, I understand a lot of you, well, Charlie Kirk said this, and Charlie Candace said, I don't care. I don't care. I know where this is going, where it's supposed to go. We have the playbook. We have the playbook. So let's get into this, if I haven't already. So I hope everyone's doing great today. It's a beautiful, what is today, Wednesday? It's a beautiful Wednesday. Oh, boy. 11th hour deal struck after Trump threatens to end the civilization forever. And then what? Iran strikes back. So I put Iran strikes back in question, and I talked to some people on the inside, and they said, look, this is all par for the course. They're saving face. They're just firing off their missiles. This is what they've been doing the whole time. But the media is making a big deal out of it because they want Trump. They want to portray him as the madman. They want the destruction. Mark Levine. Who else you got? You got Fox News report. Oh, they're still bombing. They're still going crazy out there. They're still launching missiles like little firecrackers. They're trying to paint Trump in any way they can bad. So first he was a madman. Now he's a coward. What is he? Make up your mind. Make up your mind. Look, you aren't crazy, folks. I have a lot of people that text me and say, man, I'm the only – I drive in my car and I yell sometimes. I scream. You're not alone, okay? You're not alone. We all do it. But you got Nino here to help you through it. Yeah. Let me take the punches. I'm used to it. My whole life I've been a punching bag, you know? Hey. All right, so wait a minute. They went from calling him a war criminal to a chicken overnight. Make up your mind, MSM. What is he? You all have heard the expression, you can't negotiate with terrorists, right? Well, that's why he had to put the post out the way he did, because you cannot negotiate with terrorists. Strait of Hormuz opens an 11th hour ceasefire deal after threats of wiping out the entire civilization if he didn't allow commercial shipping to pass. But will this ceasefire last? Are they just buying time? You can't trust him. We all know we can't trust him. Will Trump's 11th hour compassion last for the next 2 weeks? Well, I'm pretty sure they're going to mind their P's and Q's. He had bombers in the air. They were in the air on the way to bomb them. And they said, please, Mr. President, please, Mr. President. No, 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 no. I don't know if they talk like that, but that sounds something like, to me in my mind, I hear, no, 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 no. I guess it'd be from India, right? Or do. No. Reports are that the 2-week ceasefire is already being violated by Iran. That's what the MSN's telling you. But from what I'm hearing, it's just par for the course. They've been doing this. It's, rockets are firing on both sides, on all sides. It's reported Iran is striking Israel and the United Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Bahrain. But folks, like I said, par for the course. The Strait of Hormuz is open. Now, the terrorist mindset or bullying psychology only understands really a punch to the nose. They only understand that. And I know a lot of you have been told that your whole life growing up. Bully approaches you, punch him in the nose. It's true. They only understand fear, threats, and fear. They do not respect kindness or patience. It's weakness to them. These type of people thrive on that. If they see any kind of weakness, they strike. So you have to play poker the way Trump is playing poker. You have to show no fear, no hesitation, and you have to mean business. Remember, folks, they decided to do the deal once the planes were in the air. Once the planes were in the air, they're like, all right, that's it. Fuck it. Let's come. We're coming to the table now. He means business. No other president does business like Trump. He is a cutthroat businessman. That's what we need. I wanted a Mike Tyson in office, not a fucking Floyd Mayweather. All right, but in boxing terminology. The United States and Iran reached an 11th hour ceasefire deal on Tuesday evening, hours after President Trump threatened to start wiping out Iran's whole civilization if it did not allow commercial shipping to pass safely through the Strait of Hormuz. But there's still so much more that meets the eye. So much more. 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗃, Trump's has said Trump is waging economic war on the British-controlled central banks. It's happening behind the missile. So that's what's really happening behind the scenes. While the world watches missiles fly over Iran, Trump's real war is deeper. A precision takedown of central banks controlled by British financial elite, 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗃 says. He breaks his silence. The target is the British-controlled central bank power. So that's what's really going on here behind the scenes. Gulf countries scramble to intercept missiles hours into U.S.-Iran ceasefire agreement. Within hours after the ceasefire announcement, the Israeli military said that it had identified ballistic missile attacks from Iran. They really, and how much of this is true? I know there's videos all over social media, but a lot of us have got to think, they all want this so bad. They want to see Iran just wiped off the map. I mean, right? They all do. And I know it's the only way you can really handle this type of mindset of this regime, not Iran, but the regime. So let me clarify that. The UAE said its air defense systems were dealing with missile attacks and incoming drones from Iran. Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, and Qatar also issued alerts to activated defenses. Many Middle Eastern countries reported incoming missiles and drones from Iran on Wednesday, triggering air defenses across the Gulf within hours of a newly announced 2-week ceasefire between Washington and Tehran. The U.S. and Iran agreed to the temporary truce just before U.S. President Donald Trump's deadline to launch massive attacks if no deal was reached. The ceasefire, if it holds, would open a 2-week negotiating window with U.S. and Iranian delegations expected to meet in Islamabad on Friday. So this is all developing now. We'll see if they make it. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys think this is gonna last? I got a sneaky suspicion. That's Judge Joe Brown, in case any of you are new here and you don't know my impressions that I do. I got a sneaky suspicion. Judge Joe Brown. Judge Joe Brown has been on my show many times. So I feel like I think this might hold up, but can you trust a terrorist? I'm just saying. I don't think you can trust a terrorist. And on their media, they're reporting that Trump bowed down to them. You guys know this. So on Iranian TV, in their media, they're reporting that Trump gave in to them, to their stipulations, and he's a coward. I don't know, man. I would just if I was Trump, I would just hit the red button. I'd be like, fuck it. I'm bored today. I need some action. I need some adrenaline. So let's recap on the beauty of negotiating with terrorists, shall we? Yeah. Trump posts on Tuesday morning, a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen. God, he just says it so nonchalant, right, folks? But it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, we're different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail. Maybe something revolutionary, wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight, one of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran. That post right there scared the shit out of him. But what scared the shit out of him even more was the bombers in the air that could be outfitted with nuclear bombs, okay? They didn't know what was coming for them. They really had no idea what was going to drop on them. Was it going to be another Nagasaki, Hiroshima? They don't know. And that's what I like about Trump. Is he crazy? Is he a madman? What is he? You can't read him. And that's how he's playing the game. And he understands the art of war. So Donald Trump calls for nuclear strike as demands grow for removal from office. It doesn't mean he means it. It just means he's playing their game. He's playing their game. That's what they understand. Donald Trump's threat to wipe out a whole civilization in Iran has sparked calls for him to be removed from office, from one former White House director demanding he be ousted immediately. The Panicans. Let's just call them the Panicans. Wake up. He is calling for a nuclear strike, said Anthony, 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗹, whatever, who served in Trump's first administration in July 2017. Seek his removal immediately, the foreign communications director added. It comes after the president launched another shocking rant on Truth Social as his deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz looms. A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again, he wrote. I don't want that to happen, but hey, probably will. Trump went on to say that 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end if Iran does not agree to the ceasefire and reopening the Strait of Hormuz, though, which is around 20% of the world's oil and gas passes. He added, however, now that we have complete and total regime change, we're different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail. Maybe something revolutionary, wonderful can happen. Who knows? So this is driving the Panicans, the people, absolutely bonkers and crazy. They don't know what to do with themselves. So this is going to be interesting. Let's watch these podcasters on what they have to say tonight, tonight or in the next coming days. And I'm going to tell you right now, folks, I think Candace Owens is right over the target with Erica. I like to watch Candace Owens. I appreciate her. I think she's brilliant. I love Tucker Carlson, too. I like Tucker Carlson. I like them all. But in this lane, this particular lane, I had to disagree with them. I'm not putting them down. I just want to make this very clear. All I'm saying is I disagree in this area. I agree with them on most everything else. Just going to say that that's a disclaimer. David, no, I'm just being honest. I'm just being completely honest with this. Tucker goes after Trump. Now, this is pretty crazy. This is pretty bonkers. Tucker goes after Trump. Trump did not put his hand. Okay, so this is all about Trump taking the oath. Okay, so Tucker's saying here that Trump did not put his hand on the Bible. Tucker Carlson says Donald Trump betrayed Christians and rejects the Bible. He points to Trump not putting his hand on the Bible when taking the oath. I was about 15 feet away and saw it. He did not put his hand on the Bible. Should have been maybe a clue that we need to pause and think about, what is this? That suggests he knows it is real and you're rejecting it intentionally. You know what you're doing and you're doing it anyway. One theme that spans all 66 books in the Christian Bible is that you are not God and you cannot assume his powers. This is a serious, serious statement from Tucker Carlson. Now, he was there and he says, hey, Trump did not put his hand on the Bible. I was going to do a whole show separately on this, by the way, folks. To me, I don't know about you all, but if this is true, this is a little bit concerning to me. Because there it is. Yeah, he did not put his hand on the Bible. Maybe there's a Masonic Bible in there, right? I don't know. It looks like there's two books right there, folks, right? Do you all see the two books there? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe, just maybe, He did, there's a Masonic Bible on top of it. There's something else. It looks like there's 2 books there. So maybe that's why he didn't put his hand on the Bible. What do you all think? Let me know. That's just a guess. But obviously we can see that his hand is not on the Bible, but it looks like there's 2 books there. What's that other one there? That's my question for all of you today. Trump's open threat ignites global panic. Military needs to revolt. So a lot of leaders and people within our country, domestically, were saying the military needs to revolt on Trump. Global panic erupted on Tuesday after President Donald Trump threatened to destroy. So I'm going through a recap here, folks. I'm kind of going through a recap how this all played out up into the ceasefire. Trump threatened to destroy Iran's entire civilization by Tuesday night, and the critics went wild. The critics gone wild. Critics in the world over expressing disbelief and demanding the president be stopped at all costs. In a disturbing message shared on social media, Trump claimed that a whole civilization will die, never to be brought back again, referencing the deadline he imposed on Tehran to lift the restrictions on a critical trade waterway by 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday night, the Trump administration and Tehran have been negotiating through mediators on conditions to end the conflict, but such efforts have failed at this point of the article. So critics around the world, politicians around the world and within our government are demanding the military to revolt against Trump. This is, would you expect anything less? So now what is it? Now the media is saying, he's a coward. He didn't want to do it. He failed. Israel's pretty mad too, honestly. Yeah. Oh yeah. Israel, they're coming out saying, how could you not do it? We were so close. I think Trump is showing a little bit of to all his haters, showing some sanity and compassion, which they can't stand. So really, maybe they were hoping that he would bomb Iran so they could be right. I see the game being played here. It's poker, chess, whatever you want to call it. 5th dimensional chess, 5th dimensional. I guess you can't play 5th dimensional. Can you play 5th dimensional poker? I don't know. In the next post, and I forgot to put this person's name. My bad. I'm sorry to whoever wrote this. Kick me in the nuts. It's amazing how many people on this platform have clearly never watched a real negotiation with terrorist regime or any terrorist entity for that matter. This isn't sunshine. This ain't sunshine and rainbows. It's pressure, consequences, and making it unmistakably clear that if the Iranian regime won't change their ways, they highly risk being ended. Let's get something straight, because this keeps getting butchered. The civilization he is talking about ending is the Islamist regime, the assholes that took over 47 years ago and literally ruined the original Persian civilization in Iran that no one in the West seems to ever show empathy for. The distinction shouldn't be this hard, and no, they shouldn't be forced to be subservient to terrorists for another 50 years because you, with 50,000 followers on some social media echo chambers, said so. While some rush to defend a failed terrorist state, that same regime has been hanging teenagers this whole past week. I've seen zero concern over that. Yeah, that's true. They've also been sending 12-year-olds to be cannon fodder. Spare me the outrage. And to those immediately spiraling into this means nuclear war, please chill and relax a little. All this literally is ending a future nuclear threat. She's so right on with this. So right on. Not every hardline equals global catastrophe. That's not how this works. You've grown so used to watching terrorist pandering that you don't even recognize what resolve looks like. The regime are paper tigers. Let them fold or make a choice that will lead to their ultimate demise. And I agree with her. And she puts her, as Winston Churchill put it, we shall show mercy, but shall not ask for it. This is huge, folks. This is really, really huge. And I agree with her on this. That's her. Who is that, Alex? Sarah Adams? Yeah, that's it. That's the one. That's who it is. Sarah Adams. And as all this was developing, Pope Leo, of course, I said Pope Leo will be the adversary to Trump, his opposition to Trump. That's why they picked a guy from Chicago to be the Pope, to be the complete adversary, the villain, if you want, to make Trump the villain. So Pope Leo said on Tuesday that threats against the population of Iran are unacceptable in an unusual appeal hours after U.S. President Donald Trump said a whole civilization will die tonight in a social media rant that shocked world leaders. Today, as we all know, there was this threat against the entire population of Iran. He's wrong about that, by the way. And this is truly unacceptable, said the Pope, who has emerged as the outspoken critic of the Iran war. There are certainly issues here of international law, but even more than that, it is a more question for good of the people of the world, he said. Man, every time I look at the Pope, man, I just think about corruption. That, to me, that right there, I don't know if I have any Catholics on my... I was born and raised Catholic. I was an altar boy. How many of you knew that? How many of you knew I was an altar boy? Nope, nothing happened to me. I'm clean. Nothing happened to me. I didn't bend over and bite the ruler. All right. So Trump pulls back. So now I'm going through a chronological order here. And now we're at the point where Trump pulls back. Maybe he pulled out that night, but he's pulling back right now with Iran. Based on conversations with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Field Marshal 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗶 of Pakistan, and wherein they requested that I hold off the destructive force being sent to tonight to Iran, and subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran agreeing to the complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz. I agree to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks. This would be a double-sided ceasefire. The reason for doing so is that we have already met and exceeded all military objectives and are very far along with a definitive agreement concerning long-term peace with Iran and peace in the Middle East. Received a 10-point proposal from Iran and believe it is a workable basis on which to negotiate. So I'm going to read this 10-point plan here. Almost all the various points of the past contention have been agreed to between the United States and Iran, but a 2-week period will allow the agreement to be finalized and consummated. On behalf of the United States of America, as president and also representing the countries of the Middle East, it is an honor to have this long-term problem closed to resolution. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So I want to remind people, remember when Trump was being pressed to sign the Insurrection Act? And what was it? January 6th, 2021, was it? I don't remember. And, you know, you had General Flynn, Sidney Powell, Patrick Byrne. They all came in and said, man, you got to sign this. And he got, the word is, allegedly, he got visited by some, you know, his firewall, his people, his generals came to him and said, don't do it. You'll spiral the country into civil war. Do not sign the Insurrection Act. Now, that's what's out there. And I've heard from, I believe, trusted sources that really happened. That there's this firewall behind Trump. So it's not like he's making these decisions all alone. I would imagine there's about a dozen men behind him, very highly intelligent men, part of a certain operation, that are helping him through this stuff together, working it out together. He's just not twiddling his thumbs with his feet on his desk saying, am I going to bomb Iran today or not? Let me think. I think there's a lot of strategy here. A lot of strategy. Hey, look, folks, I couldn't go into fights without the proper trainers and management and promoters. It's always a team effort. Even though I'm in there by myself, it's still a team effort. So U.S. and Iran agreed to the ceasefire, avoiding Trump's threats of imminent devastation. But CNN says they lied. CNN lied. Holy smokes, President Trump just called out CNN World for posting a fraudulent Iranian statement. Would you expect anything less from them on the ceasefire deal, and says a crime might have been committed? Fuck around and find out, authorities are investigating. The alleged statement put out by CNN World News is a fraud. As CNN well knows, the false statement was linked to a fake news site from Nigeria, man. And of course, immediately picked up by CNN and blared out as a legitimate headline. The official statement by Iran was just released and posted on Truth Below. Authorities are looking to determine whether or not a crime was committed on the assurance of the fake CNN World statement, or was it a sick rogue player? CNN is being ordered to immediately withdraw the statement with full apologies for their, as usual, terrible reporting. Results of the investigation will be announced in the near future. Man, could you imagine how many problems just come at Trump every day? In the hundreds, maybe in the thousands. You have to be a perpetual problem solver to have this job. Think about it. This is not for the weak, man. No way is this for the weak. Being president now, maybe other presidents just do what they're told. Barack Obama, Biden, puppets. They call somebody and say, "What do you want me to do here?" And they tell them what to do. That's really the way it is. This is the first time we have a real guy in office. And that right there is my mid-roll, folks. Stay with me. Don't bail on me just yet. Get to chapter, folks. Alex, if you want to put that running phone number up on the bottom of the screen there, chapter 212-433-2495. You know me, I love this country. I love God, and I love my family. And when it comes to my family, I don't play around. I've watched people close to me go through the Medicare process, and I'll be honest, it's confusing, it's overwhelming, and there are a whole lot of brokers out there more interested in their commission than in finding a plan that works for you. That didn't sit well with me. So I went looking for something better, not for clicks, not for sponsorships, but for my family and you. That's why I partnered with Chapter and recommend them to everyone I know. They actually compare every Medicare plan available. They walk you through it in plain English, no pressure, no games, just straight answers. And here's what I respect most, folks. If you're already in the right plan, they'll tell you. That's the integrity here. On average, they've helped people save around $1,100 a year and so much more. If you're turning 65 or already on Medicare, do yourself and your family a favor. Call Chapter. It's free. It takes about 20 minutes, and it can put real money back in your pocket. There's the number, 212-433-2495. Chapter, baby, Chapter. It's a good, I had to go through them, and I felt very confident. That's how they came on to be a sponsor. I even have their mug right here, as you can see. Can't see it from there, but yeah, hey, yo, what do you know? All right. So let's get into more of this. So here's the alleged list of demands from Iran. So here's the list. I'm going to read out the list, the Iran demands. All right. Iran's list of demands put to President Trump has been made public following the agreement of a ceasefire, including an eye-watering $2 million a ship fee to use the Strait of Hormuz. At the 11th hour, Trump took to social media to confirm a last-minute cancellation of the planned attack and immediate ceasefire. Now, here they are. Iran's 10-point plan includes, number one, guarantee that Iran will not be attacked again. Okay. Number two, permanent end to the war, not just a ceasefire. Please, Mr. President, please. Number three, end to Israel strikes in Lebanon. Number four, lifting of all U.S. sanctions on Iran. Number five, end to all regional fighting against Iranian allies. Number six, in return, Iran would open the Strait of Hormuz. Number seven, Iran would impose a Hormuz fee of $2 million per ship. That sounds a little outrageous. I'm sure they can negotiate there a bit. Number eight, Iran would split these fees with Oman. Number nine, Iran to provide rules for safe passage through Hormuz. So they're going to provide the rules to even pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Number 10, Iran to use Hormuz fees for reconstruction instead of reparations. So this is going to be Trump's as a master negotiator. He's going to negotiate with these guys. I would imagine about half of this goes out the window, because if not, he's just going to bomb them. I mean, it's like they're negotiating literally with a gun to their head. They really have no ground to stand on. Trump was ready to bomb them to end the civilization forever. So that tells you where he's at with this. And I'd be very surprised if he's not just like, We don't need to deal with this. Nobody does. Bye-bye. Mark Levine appears visibly shaken on Fox News after the ceasefire, suddenly concerned about the people of Iran. What, are we going to just leave them there? That, to me, is morally very difficult to accept. Interesting. Yesterday, Trump threatened to end an entire civilization, and Levine's response was excitement about blowing up power plants. Today, a ceasefire is announced and suddenly discovers moral concern for the Iranian people. Give me a break, folks. I don't know. You know, a lot of these people are just strictly pro-Israel. You know, I think for myself, I try to look at all sides here, and you know, it almost seemed like people were giddy, right? Like giddy, like really, you know, foaming at the mouth for Trump to bomb them. If a lot of them just so they can like prove that he's crazy and evil, well, this threw a monkey wrench into their plan, right? I mean, now that he didn't do it, they're like, oh shit, he has a little bit of compassion. Maybe he's not that crazy. I got to backtrack now, and I guess we're going to call him a coward, a pussy. China restricts huge chunks of airspace for 40 days as fears mystery military drills are practicing for Iran invasion. So a lot of people are concerned right now about Taiwan invasion. China has restricted huge chunks of airspace for the next 40 days as fears grow that a Taiwan invasion is imminent. Beijing has given no explanation for why it's blocking aircraft from entering 5 zones off the country's northeast coast. It's feared the People's Liberation Army, PLA, will be drilling air combat maneuvers needed to take over the self-governing island. Usually, Xi Jinping's troops block airspace for just a few days at a time and announce they've done so to practice military exercises. So blocking off the massive no-fly area for such a long time without announcing drills has alarmed experts. Stanford University's Ray Powell, who tracks Chinese maritime activity, called the 40-day duration extraordinary. I don't know. What do you all think? Let me see in the comments. Give me your thoughts down there below. I don't know. I mean, it seems to me like, you know, taking out Iran, you know, away from, you know, that was China's proxy right there, right? So you would think it's common sense they would go in after Taiwan. I can't imagine a better time than now while we're busy with, you know, Venezuela, Cuba, Iran, Ukraine. I mean, I would imagine now would be the time for China to do whatever they had to do. Let me know what your thoughts are down there below. Breaking. So the FBI Director 𝗂𝗃 is reportedly preparing to formally announce. Now, this is allegedly. I haven't got any validation on this, but I'm hearing this is coming from a lot of my channels anyway. But you know, you all decide on this. I know a lot of you love to correct me, but I don't mind it. If I'm wrong about something, I come out and say I'm wrong. It does not bother Sancho. Sancho has been wrong sometimes about his entire life. Boy, I'm not doing for an ex-drunk. I don't know. I guess I wasn't I was a drunk. The first step is admitting it, David. The first step is admitting you have a disease. I don't think it's a disease. I call it a weakness. Women were my weakness for a very long time. But Sancho had too many kids. He could not pay for all the kids, so he had to stop a little bit. FBI Director 𝗂𝗃 is reportedly preparing to formally announce federal criminal charges against disgraced former President Barack Obama and dozens of other key individuals who were involved in the planning and execution of Russiagate in the aftermath of the 2016 election. A federal grand jury in the Southern District of Florida is said to be impaneling to hear testimony. Now, I've heard from some people this is true, with indictments expected to begin dropping. Get this, folks. Dropping when? Early May at the latest. So this month into early May, over 30 former Obama administration officials are reportedly cooperating with the federal government to help build its case against Barack Hussein Obama, who attempted to lead a coup to take down his successor, President Donald Trump. Wow. So I believe this is coming. I've had 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 on my show a lot, actually, before. Maybe I'll try to get him on again. I know he's a very, very, very busy guy, you know. Hey, maybe he'll come on and, talk to us a little bit. FBI's, check this out, folks. This is pretty crazy, man. This is pretty wild and wacky stuff. Who used to do that? Wild and wacky stuff. Wild and wacky stuff. There's the cash. The cash. Pre-crime center. Now, I don't know about you all, but this sounds like some shit like Minority Report. Tom Cruise. President Trump's budget request to Congress contains the largest counterterrorism spending increase in years, and buried inside it is a new FBI-led center dedicated to proactivity, hunting Americans the government classifies as so-called domestic terrorists. Now, this is scary because it just depends on who's in office. Like if it was Biden, they'd be going after patriots, right? Whoever they deem as terrorists. So this is really scary stuff to me. The new center of funding boost represents the implementation of Trump's national security presidential memorandum, the sweeping federal order I've been covering since it was signed last September. Through public opposition to 𝗦𝗏 succeeded at forcing the administration to back down in Minnesota, even firing both Kristi Noem and Gregory Bovino. The FBI is doubling down its domestic terrorist obsession. Now, Trump's budget request reveals the FBI runs a dedicated NSPM-7 Joint Mission Center with personnel from 10 federal agencies. It is busy proactively identifying domestic terrorists motivated by any following of these beliefs right here. Now, this is, to me, I don't know. Okay, I don't know about this. Okay, so here are the beliefs that they're following. Anti-Americanism. Okay, anybody who's anti-American. I thought living in this country, you could be anti anything you want. Kind of concerning to me. What is anti-Americanism? So what if Biden was in office? What's anti-Americanism to him? Not cooperating with the cultural Marxism? Anti-capitalism. That's obviously self-explanatory. Anti-Christianity. What? What about freedom of religion? I'm a Christian, but still people can bash me all they want. This is concerning. Support for the overthrow of the U.S. government. Well, what about militias and that? What it says in the Constitution? Extremism of migration, extremism on race, extremism on gender. Folks, this just seems like two sides to the same coin to me. Hostility towards those who hold traditional American views on family. So now it's like reversed from, hate crime, people, this and that, alternative life. Now it's reversed onto people of nuclear. This is getting weird to me. I don't know about you all, but this is still very weird to me. Hostility towards those who hold traditional American views on religion, and hostility towards those who hold traditional views on morality. So what are we just doing what they did to us now? That's just my question, folks. I like to think out of the box. I've always said that when the pendulum swings left, it's going to swing right, and I'm going to watch that. I'm not cool with this. I'm not good with this at all. I mean, people still have a right to be stupid, right? I mean, you got to defend their right to be. You got to defend their right to be a little bit In other words, if your political views are practically anything other than MAGA, you're on notice, courtesy of the FBI. See, I can't agree with this. I cannot agree with this. Like my good conscience can't agree with this. I don't agree with this. The new center combats these supposed threats by integrating intelligence, operational support, and financial analysis. the budget request says. Huh. You know, there was a neighbor down the street that, which I wasn't for, but it's still his right, you know, to live in America, and you could be as dumb as you want to be. But he constantly had, it was like the apartments down the street from my house. Every day he had his Mexican flag waving out of the window. And I was like, wow. When Trump comes in, because I was very convinced Trump was going to get in, I was like, this guy is going to be a target because he's probably illegal. Anyway, his flag would wave, the Mexican flag would be waving out of his window, a huge one too. Everyone could see it on the street. Well, let's just say that's not there anymore. It's gone. I don't know if he's gone with it, but it's gone. Nothing says like, hey, I'm right here, everybody. I'm right here. Then a Mexican flag waving out of your window. Now, honestly, I did not agree with it, right? I don't agree with it, but he still has that right. But I think he was probably illegal and he probably got picked up. The secret never before used CIA tool that helped find airmen down in Iran. If your heart is beating, we will find you. This is pretty crazy, folks. The CIA used a futuristic new tool called 𝗀𝗃 to find and rescue the second American airman who was shot down in southern Iran. The secret technology used long-range quantum magnetometry, I guess that's how you say it, to find the electromagnetic fingerprint of a human heartbeat and pairs the data with artificial intelligence software to isolate the signature from background noise, two sources close to the breakthrough said. It was the tool's first use in the field by the spy agency and was alluded to Monday afternoon by President Trump and CIA Director John Ratcliffe at the White House briefing. It's like hearing a voice in a stadium, except the stadium is 1,000 square miles of desert. A source briefed on the program told the Post. In the right conditions, if your heart is beating, we will find you. That's kind of scary. Oh, man, this technology is just getting so out of control. This source and another with knowledge of Lockheed Martin intelligence collection tools told the Post that the 𝗀𝗃 was developed by skunkworks, the aerospace giant's secretive advanced development division. The company declined to comment. Jeez, man. I don't know, man. We're living in such a crazy time. Don't you all feel like it's the Twilight Zone? Like everything to me is just going 10 times faster. By the way, folks, I had a really good podcast. Not just I did 3 podcasts yesterday. 𝗂𝗏, JJ Arms, my friend, international private investigator. That's up on ninoscorner.tv right now. Still, the lifetime special is up. For you pay one payment and you're a lifetime member, or you can just pay the cheap monthly payment, whatever you want to do. But go to ninoscorner.tv right now and check it out. It's awesome. I'm very proud of what I'm building here. Obviously, you can see the studio's changed. Everything's changing. ninoscorner.tv is fire. But I had a really good podcast with JJ Arms, and I don't know if you guys know who Owen Benjamin is. Owen Benjamin was in the Hollywood circles at one time, stand-up comedian, big, tall guy, 6'8". I think he used to be friends with Joe Rogan. They had a falling out. Anyway, he came on my podcast. He's like I believe he's a known flat earther. And it was stellar podcast. We talk about Elon Musk. Is he a Freemason wizard? This guy brings a lot to the table. Very, very sharp guy. Very sharp guy. I was actually a fan of this guy. I was a fan of his. Back in the day, I used to watch his YouTube videos. I don't know if you guys know who he is, Owen Benjamin. If you guys are familiar with him, put it in the chat. It's going to be a great podcast. It'll be up on ninoscorner.tv probably tonight. So let's get back to the articles. Oh boy. Texas considers requiring reading lists for schools, which includes the Bible. Now, I'm not against this because obviously I'm a Christian. And you know what they're putting in the schools before this? How to put on a condom. Yeah, the kid's 6 years old. How to give oral. Yeah, the kid's 6 years old. So putting the Bible in the school, sorry, I'm not against this. I'm for it. I'm all for it. Texas education officials are considering sweeping changes to English and social studies instruction that would put readings from the Bible on a new state-required reading list for millions of public school students. The changes would also bring a U.S. and Texas-centric lens to history, with less emphasis on world history, a shift some historians and progressive groups have opposed. But having sexual books in school is totally fine, David. They need to learn. They need to learn at 6 years old where they came from. The Texas Board of Education, an elected board with a 10-5 Republican majority, was meeting on Tuesday to consider the proposals which could shape instruction for a generation of students. Texas is home to 5.4 million public school students, about 11% of the total U.S. public school population. The hotly debated reading list drew hours of public testimony from teachers, students, parents, politicians, and religious groups. I guess they're going to say, well, if you put the Bible in there, you got to put the Quran and the Torah. I don't know. A draft of the list proposed by the Texas Education Agency outlines more than 200 texts with widely recognized classics such as The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle for kindergartens, A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline L. Engel for seventh graders, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech for eighth graders. But it also includes passages from the Bible in middle and high school raising questions about the separation of church and state. So you know all the other religions out there, they're going to like argue this and say, well, nah, you need the Book of Satan in there too. The Book of Satan needs to be in all schools. They need to learn how to sacrifice at a very young age. They need to know what to do when we're sacrificing them. Just breathe. Just relax. Try to relax. Try to relax your mind. Very good. Now lean back. Give me your throat. Very good. Very good. That's a good little girl. Breathe. In what the fuck news, 24-year-old cancer survivor nearly dies after eating friends' home-cooked dinner. A dangerous dinner party left a young cancer survivor. I'm not laughing. I don't even know why. I'm not laughing. Hospitalized with a rare life-threatening illness. After sharing a meal with friends last month, 24-year-old Trinity Pearson Mays found herself unable to swallow, speak, or move. Ay. Slowly, over the course of 24 hours, I went from not being able to chug water to not being able to drink any water at all, Peterson Mays told that Arizona outlet. After violently choking on a sip of coffee, a distressed Peterson Mays sought emergency medical attention. What dish was responsible for these dangerous symptoms? Fermented swordfish. It tasted horrible. Fermented swordfish? I'm going to be so honest, Peterson Mays said. It's supposed to be healthy, and I figured I might as well try it. If it's bad, I'll just get a bad stomach ache. Well, you got more than that. Peterson Mays was eventually diagnosed with botulism, a rare but serious illness in which powerful bacterial-borne toxins attack the body's nervous system, blocking communication between nerves and muscles and causing respiratory issues, muscle paralysis, and even death if not diagnosed rapidly and treated with antitoxin. Symbolism of botulism usually appear within 12 to 36 hours of exposure and can include dizziness, blurred or double vision, difficulty speaking, difficulty swallowing, difficulty breathing, muscle weakness, abdominal distension, and constipation. Jeez. She said she just woke up. She was unconscious. I just woke up and I had 3 IVs, she said. I was intubated. I had a central line in my neck and I couldn't move at all. It was very scary and I wasn't able to talk. I wasn't able to walk. After being given a life-saving antitoxin, Peterson Mays is now in the slow process of recovery. Well, God bless her, man. That's crazy, man. That's definitely some what the fuck news right there. I love swordfish. I guess I won't get fermented swordfish. Alex, are you there?
Hey, Nino.
What's up, my man? So what do you think, dude? Good show? I mean, I held it together pretty well.
Yeah, man. Good show. Yeah. Yeah, real good. Gosh, I feel so bad for that poor girl. That's like, I mean, swordfish is delicious, but fermented foods and like things like this, especially if you've got
What's a fermented food, bro?
Yeah, you know, they do a lot of it like kimchi, Korean kimchi, and miso even in Japan, certain Asian foods, and across the world.
Can you overdo it? I mean,
I think so. I think it can be prepared wrong, or it's like it's very dicey. Like it has to be prepared just the right way so that it's still like consumable and not rotten. And I mean, if you're getting botulism from it, it's probably, you know,
what's that one fish that you eat in Japan that you have to eat at your own risk? There's like a blowfish or something like that.
yeah, puffer fish or something.
Pufferfish, right? Like if they cut it the wrong way, you can die.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, is it worth? I don't know. I mean, I don't. You definitely don't want to go to a fucking hole in the wall and eat that, right, dude? I mean, it's like no way.
Yeah, no, I mean, some people got some, you know, interesting ideas of thrill seeking. There's a lot more you can get out of life than just, I don't know, pushing the envelope like that for me personally. But
I'm the same way, dude. It's just that, you know, as I get older, dude, it's like less, like when I was younger, it was all about the risk, adrenaline rushes. I mean, I fought for a living. Fuck, I had 40 pro fights. I don't know, like 20 amateur fights, right? Fought for a living my entire life. I used to do the dumbest shit ever. And you come out unscathed, but that only happens for a certain amount of time. And when you get older, it's like, now I'm like, the less risks, the better. Like, fuck that. I've already used all my get out of jail free cards, hall passes. They're all done.
Yep. The 9 lives.
Less risk now.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%, man.
You won't catch me eating a blowfish.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do it. I'm just like, dude, I don't even know. Like, if I were to go back to drinking or any of the stuff I used to do, my heart would probably blow out. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
Even if I wanted to, even if I was like, I'm going to go drinking, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah. No, I hear that. I mean, it's too much then at this point. If you've like tilted past the limit, now you cut it off and you don't want to, you know, even stick a toe back in that water. So to speak.
Wow, no, dude, you look back on your life, you're like, I did all that. That's crazy. Like, now I just want to live. Like, I want to try to live a long life, and that's it, man. You know, just see if I can make it, you know?
Yeah.
As far as I can, you know? Well, is there any super chats?
Oh yeah. Let's take a look here. We do have a few
chats here. Oh, folks, do you like the cap, the Nino's Corner cap? This is the cap. It's down there below at ninoscorner.shop. Get yourself an NC cap, baby. NC. 𝗀𝗃𝗏𝗀, thank you so much. Super sticker. Thank you. Startthechallengetoday.com. Juan, are we close to watch the water? Well, I'll ask him on the next podcast.
Yeah.
𝗀𝗃𝗏𝗀, you're back again. Thank you so much. You're loyal. You're really loyal. Thank you. Super sticker. Rotten Dog. Check it out. What? Oh God. Flat Earther has to say about Trump. It mighty explain no hand on Bible during oath. Oh, yeah, but you know, what if the Masonic Bible was on there too?
They were saying it was one Bible was one from his mother, and the other was like Abraham Lincoln's family Bible, but I don't really know what, you know, the origins of all that is. It's a question mark. You know, it's a question
definitely
mark.
I mean, he put his hand on the Bible the first time.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we all saw that. So why didn't he do it the second time? That's a question I have for sure.
Right. I mean, he won. Yeah. He won
for sure.
And he won that second election too. So this is really his third go around. I don't know if that has anything.
Yeah. You're right, dude. But I mean, dude, he did it. The first time he ever got sworn in, his hand was on that Bible. This time it's not. So that is kind of concerning to me.
Yeah.
I'm curious about that. 𝗀𝗃𝗏𝗀, you're back. Super sticker. Thank you, sweetheart. Big Shot Blues, former Israel PM calls Trump ceasefire with Iran greatest political disaster in Israel history. Whatever. Proving DJT is not controlled by Israel. 100%. Now, here's my point. Folks. Is BB alive or is he dead? Huh. Maybe he's not around, is he? How come there's no statements coming out from BB? Where's BB? Am I right, Alex? Where's Benjamin Netanyahu and all this? Where's his commentary? Where's his speech?
Yeah, good question.
Dude, where is he? Where's BB? It's kind of like, where's Waldo? Where's BB? Where's Benjamin Netanyahu? Yeah. I'm sure there'll be another proof of life coming up somewhere, but I think that dude's gone, bro. I have a feeling he's gone. I have that feeling. Marla Hoover, thank you for all you do. Thank you so much, Marla. 7242.
Cute cat picture, too.
Yeah. Danielle 2180. Nino, if you get a chance, please watch the movie 𝗫𝗏 with Chris Pratt. A great depiction of how AI will be implemented in our judicial system. That's scary. How old is that movie, 𝗫𝗏?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I must have
Chris
been
Pratt. Which one's Chris Pratt, dude?
He's the one that was Jurassic Park. He was in like Parks and Rec originally, and then he kind of shot up to superstardom. He's what do you call it? The Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah. I like that dude. He reminds me of one of my friends actually.
Yeah.
𝗏𝗏 with Chris Pratt. Okay, I'll watch that. 𝗩𝗶𝗱𝗏𝗀.
Big one from Debbie. Thank you, Debbie.
Wow, that's huge. Thanks, Debbie. Super sticker.
Actually,
Wow.
She did two of them.
Two.
So
You're awesome. Wow.
appreciate it.
Hey,
Debbie.
yo. Buy myself a dinner tonight. All right. So, Alex, that's it, man. Thanks, folks, for joining. Alex, thank you. I'll see you Friday.
Sounds good.
All right, folks, I'm out of here. And the new heavyweight champion of podcasting and the Black Sheep of broadcasting, folks. Later. We're out.